Hello and welcome to this video series on cybersecurity. Today is the first topic, that is cybersecurity introduction, and we will be discussing in specific the what, why and how of the cybersecurity. So coming to the first question, what is cybersecurity? Before answering this question, let's understand what is data first and why is it important in current day's situation. So in day-to-day life, we are interacting with laptop, we have several applications downloaded on our phones and we are interacting so much with our friends, family in the different parts of the world, and we are exchanging data, we are putting data on these applications. If we take a simple example of WhatsApp, then on day-to-day basis we put lot of information. It may be media, it may be simple text data or any data format of different forms, but our data is getting exchanged throughout the world with the relatives and friends who are present in different parts of the world. So we can say that data is almost everywhere, even though you may be directly putting the data by yourself or indirectly you are putting the data through some other third party. So if it's a government which is taking your information, that is also digitized. So essentially every organization, let it be a non-profit organization or a for-profit organization, many businesses have built across only on this single entity, that is data. So that's the reason data is almost everywhere. And it is impossible to say in today's era that you don't leave a digital footprint behind. So even if you don't own a smartphone, even if you don't own a laptop, it's impossible to say that you don't leave a digital footprint behind. In fact, you will be leaving a permanent digital footprint wherever you interact with the data. And I'm pretty sure you must have come across this phrase that data is the new oil. So as we discussed about these applications like WhatsApp, Facebook and any other social media application, we interact with lot of information online. So that is the reason these companies which work for profit have centered the data as their main source of income. And that's the reason why data is called as the new oil. Through this we can establish that data is extremely valuable, because there are so many businesses happening just around this single entity which doesn't have any physical existence, but it is virtually present and many businesses are built upon it. And that's the reason data is very valuable. Now if something is valuable, essentially it has to be secured, because there might be many people who try to gain illegal access to it so that they can make easy money out of it. And that is the reason data is valuable, so it needs security. So yes. Now that we quoted that data needs security. Now what are the different types of security when we talk about data? It is broadly classified into three categories. The first is information security, and second we have cyber security, and the third is network security. Now as we see here, information security is the superset. So it secures data not just in the digital format, but it may be present in any other format. It may be legal documents which are just on paper, it may be intellectual property rights. All the rules and regulations pertaining to data of different formats comes under information security. Now next we have cyber security, which is a subset of information security, but it deals in particular with data which is in digital format. And then we have a further subset of cyber security, which is network security. Now whenever we talk about web applications or any other applications that we use on day-to-day basis, they all have some kind of interaction with the internet. So basically you have network of computers in some part of the world, and then you have network of computers on other part of the world. So the data is getting exchanged between these network of computers. Now when this exchange is happening between the networks, how are you going to secure the data? So many blogs that you read about cybersecurity or data security in general are going to use these terms. But it is essential that you understand the difference between these terms, because there is a subtle difference. Now some blogs even quote that cyber security and network security are the two faces of the same coin, that is cyber security. Now that depends on how you are going to apply the security knowledge that you have learned so far. Now coming to what is cyber security. We understood that data is valuable, so it definitely needs security. Now coming to how do we summarize cybersecurity, it is something like this. We are protecting data which is on computer system, which is on networks and data in general from any of the digital attacks or unauthorized access or damage. Now we will be discussing all these different categories in the upcoming series of lectures, but for now I want you all to remember that data protection is the essence of cybersecurity, and thereby we ensure that the data is confidential, the quality of data, that is the integrity of data, is maintained, and availability of data is always there 24/7. Now also take a keen look at this diagram which is named as CIA triad, because this triangle, which seems very simple, is the basic foundation for cybersecurity. So confidentiality means you are maintaining the data. Let's say you are a company which holds a lot of information of the clients. Then you need to make sure that the data which is with you is confidential and it is not leaked to a third party person who is nowhere related to your organization. That talks about confidentiality. Next we have the integrity. Well, now you have data which is coming from your clients, they have given consent, you are storing it. But how do you know whether it's safe or no? What if some person has gained illegal access to it and manipulated the entire data? You will be thinking that, okay, I have the data, it is there. Yesterday I saw it was 10 GB of data, today also it is 10 GB of data. Nothing might have changed. But what happens in the case of integrity means, if there is any person who is gaining illegal access, he is going to change all the data. That means the integrity of the data that you store is lost. Then availability. Let's say you ensure the confidentiality of data and integrity of the data is in place. But what if the entire database or the server that you are owning has gone down? Then how are the clients going to get the data from your organization? So you have to ensure that whatever services you provide or the website that you provide should be 24/7 available. So these are the main principles for cybersecurity, the CIA triad. This answers what is cybersecurity. Now the next question is, why do we need to understand cybersecurity, or why do we need to learn cybersecurity? Now why cybersecurity? Broadly, I am classifying the type of audience who are watching this video into three categories. Layman is the first that we are going to discuss. Now let's say you are a person who is nowhere related to technology, but you are listening to this video and you are a layman. So how does it help you? How does the knowledge of cybersecurity help you? It is going to help you in raising awareness. The awareness of cybersecurity is very essential in today's world, because there are many scams which are happening on day-to-day basis and they are evolving a lot rapidly. So it is very essential for you to have knowledge of cybersecurity so that you don't fall prey to those scamsters and attacks which are happening in the digital space. So that is how the layman is going to take advantage of the knowledge that he has in the cybersecurity space. Now moving on, this is the second category, that is cybersecurity specialist. Now if you are learning cybersecurity, you might want to apply the skills somewhere so that you gain a job or you land a job somewhere. So you are going to be either a cybersecurity specialist or an analyst who is hired by an organization. Now when you work for these organizations, you have to analyze the existing setup they have and suggest them at what level is their company risky and how do they overcome those risks of cyber attacks. So that is how cybersecurity specialists are going to benefit with this knowledge, by gaining expertise. Now the third category, the software engineers. And I am assuming all the audience who are watching this video are software engineers, are pursuing a career in that field, or they wish to pursue it in future. Now how is this even related to your field, you might ask. You may be just an application developer, or you may be maintaining a software, or you might be writing some new software, cutting edge software, anything. But how is the cybersecurity even related to you? Well, it is very much related to you, because you will be developing applications. So you will be adding all these best practices that you learn so that the application you developed is cyber secure. So these are the three categories and how cybersecurity knowledge is actually going to help you in real time. Now in essence, this is the summary. It is for safeguarding your personal data and information, which are your digital assets. So how do you safeguard them? Either as individual or as an organization. Then we also, with the knowledge of cybersecurity, it will help to prevent or mitigate the attacks. And thereby we protect the sensitive information from unauthorized access or manipulation. As we discussed in the CIA triad, that integrity is the most important thing, and we ensure that by applying cybersecurity knowledge, we safeguard the data. Now we answer what, why. Now comes the crucial part, that is how do we learn cybersecurity. We understood it is important, we also understood that how it is important to people of different categories. But how do we learn cybersecurity? So this is how the plan should look like. You can slightly add and enhance it further, but these are the basic guidelines for you so that you can learn cybersecurity quickly. So firstly, you will be learning the foundational concepts, then you will be applying whatever you learn that is learn by doing with hands-on exercises. We will be guiding you through this course, how you can apply the knowledge that you gain, and you can also test it. And also it is essential on your part that you stay updated with the emerging threats that are taking place on day-to-day basis. Well, this recorded video happens today, but what if immediately there are few attacks coming up in the future? So how do you gear up for that? So let's say this is the basic version 1.0 of the video. You've learnt it, but it is essential that on your side you keep yourself updated with the latest trends and the emerging trends in the cybersecurity space, so that this knowledge serves as the basis, and whatever you learn in the future is just going to be topping on the cake. Now it is also essential to gain practical experience through labs and real world scenarios. Now we will have lot of simulation labs so that you understand how the attacks are actually launched, what kind of vulnerabilities are exploited. All this will be completed under the practical experience sessions. So this is it. We answered the what, why and how of the cybersecurity. So I hope you are interested to follow the next series which will be coming up, which will give you more knowledge, in-depth knowledge about the cybersecurity concepts along with the practical sessions.